Hey y'all, so I'm back with the weekly messages, and this week's message is talking about codependency. So, a lot of us are having a lot of codependency and insecurity, and it's basically tying into how we care for ourselves and how we love ourselves. So, it's like we're dependent on people to do certain things for us and love us when really we really need to be just doing this for ourselves, in terms of self-care. This could be your hair, your makeup, getting a haircut, getting a manicure, getting a pedicure. All of these things is wrapped around some form of codependency, and even the way that you want to be loved is wrapped around this codependency. There's this deep inner feeling of insecurity within us that needs to be checked, that needs to be looked at, because the way that we're caring and loving for ourselves is based off of someone else, another person, and is not, coming from the source, coming from ourselves. So we need to tap into these feelings, these inner feelings, really stop relying on other people to love us, to care for us, to provide these things, to provide your hair to get done, to provide your nails to get done, or your haircuts and shape ups, and or whatever the case may be, you know um and just it's just really time to just stop being codependent. And this could be definitely challenging for a lot of us because we're used to having someone involved in our lives. Like, our lives does it just revolves around so many people, and we don't look at ourselves. So it's time to tap into these inner feelings and what's going on in the midst of that. Being able to basically become codependent is going to bring up a lot of emotions. It's going to be a lot of emotional pain for some of us. Some of us are probably grieving and suffering and going through this emotional pain because of, this connection that we may have had, or trying to break out of this codependency behavior. So there also may be a lot of hurt. Some people are actually experiencing divorce. It's just a lot of loss happening, and depression as well. So for those of us who are going through that heartbreak, that divorce, that emotional pain due to this codependency, know that it's hard, because your life is wrapped around another person. But I have good news. The good news is that you're breaking this codependency, and by breaking this and going through this heartbreak and this depression and all of these things, you know, you're able to manifest what you truly want. You're able to stand on your own. You'll see a speed, you'll see rapid, action results. So just hang in there. For some of us, I know it's tough going through this whole emotional heartbreak and all of these inner feelings due to releasing and detaching these codependencies and having to rely on people to provide for you. And now, you're standing on your own, and it may hurt. So I feel like this message is definitely it's for all of us, of course, but could be deeply felt for those who are actually going through just a divorce of some sort. But it's just time for us to tap into who we truly are. Okay. Maybe this situation of detaching from codependency is going to allow some of us to actually move on with our lives and be able to travel or release something. Some of us may have travel in the air. Maybe people want to experience a whole different world. And so this is the opportunity. This will come if you continue to push through, if you continue to do the work, and to basically grieve the loss, grieve no longer being codependent. And then we have the message of, my most important relationship is with my source. So there's no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you and your physical body, right here and right now, in the soul/source, God, from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have the stable footing to proceed in other relationships. Your relationship with your own body with money, with your parents, children, grandchildren, and your world will all fall easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental relationship first. So it is about ourselves, once again, ourselves and source. This codependency with, you know, other people and our children, parents, whoever it is, we have to cut these ties because it really starts with us, you know, in source. So staying grounded and connected to your soul, your body, how to love on yourself, how to care for yourself, how to honor yourself. Stop looking outside of self. This is the message that's, you know, being stated. We need to look to source. We need to look to ourselves. We keep looking outside of ourselves and we're running into dead ends. Why? Because we don't have the relationship with ourselves. We don't have this healthy relationship. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we truly want. We don't know how to sit with ourselves and enjoy our own company. It's just a lot of things when it comes to who we are as beings that we're not comfortable with. So we just need to get comfortable with ourselves, to honor ourselves, honor source. And when we do this, the relationships with others is going to fall into place. All relationships will begin to align. There will be harmony. There will not be dysfunction. There will not be disruption. There will be peace and clarity and happiness. And that's what most of us want. We want that end goal. We want that happiness. So just continue to do the work. Dive deep into, you know, your feelings. We need to dive deep into our feelings and, you know, just honor who we are and honor source. And the rest will be taken care of. And then we have the message of how can I stay focused on my most important priorities? So first off, I want to say that we are our first important priorities. So how are we treating ourselves? How are we caring for ourselves? How are we loving ourselves? You know, that's what's important. How can we stick to that? How can we make a commitment to stay dedicated to ourselves? And, you know, also just ask yourself that question. How can I stay focused on my most important priorities? So staying focused on yourself, and then also staying focused on the goals and the things that you truly want to achieve, because at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves. We have to know who we are so we can begin to know other people, understand other people, y'all. So this is our message for this week. I hope that it resonated with somebody out there. And remember, detaching from these codependent relationships is not easy. It's work. It causes, you know, a lot of emotions to come up. Trauma, grief, hurt, loss, pain. But when you go through it, you're going to see the manifestation of the things that you want. So we will see the manifestations of the things that we want once we go through this pain. And yes, it's going to hurt. Okay. Yes, you're going to be effed up. Yes, you're going to want to go back to the same thing that you've always been used to and comfortable with. But this message is saying don't go back. Continue to push forward. Okay. Because something greater is on the way. And once you go back, you're saying that you're willing to be stagnant. You're willing to go through the same cycle all over again. Okay, so you're being pushed to do something greater, something better, and to manifest, to create the things that you need, you want, you deserve. And, you know, everything is in alignment. You got to trust yourself and you got to trust source. That's our message, y'all. Peace.